Good morning, students. In the last class, we discussed about the valency bond theory. In the valency bond theory, we discussed how a covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of the valency orbitals containing half-filled electrons. So, we have seen that those atoms are having half-filled valence orbitals are getting overlapped, but another same kind of orbitals having the opposite spin, where the two electrons are getting paired, okay, one having parallel and other anti-parallel spin. As a result, the covalent bond is formed. We have seen how the covalent bond is formed between two hydrogen atoms, two fluorine atoms. We have seen how the covalent bond is formed in water molecule. Okay. Also, we have seen how the covalent molecule is formed in HF molecule, and finally, we have seen how the covalent bond is formed with your oxygen molecule. So, in the oxygen molecule, we have seen that the two unpaired electrons Py1 to Pz1 are being overlapped by another to Py to Pz of end oxygen atom, and finally they are getting paired. So, in the oxygen molecule, we have seen there is no unpaired electron, and we know molecules having unpaired electrons are paramagnetic, means will be attracted towards a magnet, and those who have the paired electrons are diamagnetic. If they are not having any unpaired electron, the molecule will be diamagnetic, they will not be attracted towards a magnet. So, this case happens for oxygen molecule. In oxygen molecule, there is no unpaired electron present. Hence, the oxygen molecule is diamagnetic according to valence bond theory. But actually, the oxygen molecule is paramagnetic, and this paramagnetic behavior of the oxygen molecule can be explained with the help of what? Molecular orbital theory. Okay. In fact, many of the magnetic behaviors of the molecules we can explain with the help of what? Molecular orbital theory. So, let us discuss about your molecular orbital theory. Okay. Molecular orbital theory, MOT. So, what says it? According to molecular orbital theory, there is no overlapping of valency orbital containing half-filled electrons. In fact, for the formation of a molecule, all the atomic electrons are combined. The atomic orbitals of both the participating atoms are combining to form new orbitals called molecular orbital. So, whenever two atomic orbitals called the wave functions are coming close to each other, two cases arises. One is either the two can add or the two can subtract. Okay. So, accordingly, we will have two kind of molecular orbitals. So, when the two atomic orbitals combine, that is called your LCAO, linear combination of atomic orbitals, LCAO method. Okay. When two atomic orbitals combine, we are getting two molecular orbitals. one is having lower energy and other having higher energy as compared to the atomic orbital which we have taken. So, the molecular orbitals which have lower energy as compared to the atomic orbitals taken are called bonding molecular orbital, and the molecular orbital which have higher energy as compared to the atomic orbital which we have taken are called the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, one bonding molecular orbital and another anti-bonding molecular orbitals are formed when the two atomic orbitals are combining. That means the number of molecular orbitals formed is equal to the number of atomic orbitals taken. Okay. So, suppose you see energy here, okay, and energy here, okay. So, if I have suppose one s orbital here, okay, and again one s atomic orbital here, atomic orbitals. Now, when this 1s and 1s will combine with each other, I will get what you know. Okay, one called what you know? Sigma 1s. Okay, called what you know? The bonding molecular orbital. Or sigma star 1s called the anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so I have taken here two atomic orbitals, 1s and 1s. Now, when this 1s and 1s are combining, I am getting what? Sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. So, these two are called what? The molecular orbitals. Okay. So, 1s plus 1s called what? The atomic orbital. I am getting what? Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. These are called what? The molecular orbitals. Okay. And in these molecular orbitals, now the electrons will be configured. Similarly, if I will take suppose two s energy, okay, we will get what? Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. So, star means what? Anti-bonding. Okay. No star, bonding. So, here what? This is what? Bonding molecular orbital. This is what? Anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay. Now, so this is bonding molecular orbitals are obtained by the addition of the wave functions, and anti-bonding are obtained by the subtraction of the wave functions. Okay. So, what you can say, 1s plus 1s will get what? Sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. Okay. 2s plus 2s will what? Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Okay. Similarly, if I take 2p 2px, 2py, 2pz. 2px, 2py, 2pz will combine, will get what, you know. So out of the 3 2p orbitals, one will form your sigma bond, other two will form what, the pi bonds. Okay. So we will get sigma 2pz, sigma star 2pz. Okay. 2pz here we are taking the molecular axis, so it will form your sigma bond. Then again we have pi 2px, pi 2py, or pi 2px, pi star 2px. Merely. So 2pz will combine to give what? Sigma 2pz, sigma star 2pz. Okay. So 2pz combine to give what? Sigma 2pz, sigma star 2pz. Now 2px combine to give what? Pi 2px, pi star 2px. Finally 2py will combine to give what? Pi 2pi and pi star 2py. So these are the different kind of molecular orbitals obtained by the linear combination of different atomic orbitals. Okay, already the diagrammatical representation also already we have done. Okay, so these are the atomic orbitals AO. Okay. Now when the two atomic orbitals combine 1s and 1s up to atoms, okay, we are getting what, the sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. Similarly, when 2s and 2s of one atom will combine, we will get what? Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. And when the 2p orbital, that is called 2p mixed, 2px, y, z of two atom will combine, okay, we will get what? Out of the 3, one will take the molecular axis, 2pz, that will give sigma 2pz, sigma star 2pz, and other the x, y, and y will form what? The pi bond, pi 2px, pi 2pi, okay, pi star 2px, pi star 2py. So here one thing you can remember, because these px, py all are belong to the same orbital, p orbital. So you see pi 2px and pi 2pi are the bonding, okay, and these two will have the same energy. Okay. Similarly, pi star 2px and pi star 2pi are the same, will have the same energy. Okay. Now, after getting this all the orbitals, so now we have to calculate the electrons in the different orbitals. Okay. So now you see what are the conditions for this kind of combination. First of all, the atomic orbitals are combining linearly, that is called LCAO method, and atoms of same atom having same symmetry and roughly of equal energy are combining only. Any atoms, any orbitals cannot combine. Okay. So let us see what the conditions of the molecular orbital combinations. Okay. So postulates. Okay. So these are the postulates of the molecular orbital theory, which we have discussed earlier. Okay. So in order for a molecule to be formed, the atomic orbitals should combine linearly. That means linear combination of atomic orbitals will leads toward the formation of the molecular orbital. Okay. Now when atomic orbitals are combined, new orbitals are formed, and the new orbitals are known as what? The molecular orbitals. Okay. And when two orbitals are combining, we are getting two molecular orbitals. That means the number of molecular orbitals formed equal to the number of atomic orbitals taken. Okay. Now when you take two atomic orbitals, will get to 2 molecular orbital, and these 2 molecular orbitals will have a difference in energy as compared to the parent atomic orbitals which we have taken. So, one molecular orbitals formed will have a less energy as compared to the corresponding atomic orbitals, that is called what? Bonding molecular orbitals, which we have already discussed. Okay. So, out of the 2 molecular orbitals formed from the atomic orbitals, one will have a lower energy as compared to the atomic orbitals, and is known as bonding molecular orbital, and other will have the while the other will have higher energy called the anti-bonding molecular orbital, ABMO. Okay. So, here we have taken, if 1s and 1s we have taken 1s and 1s, sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. Sigma is the bonding, sigma star is the anti-bonding. Okay. Now, atomic orbitals having same symmetry and roughly of equal energy are only combining. You see, so 1s is combining with 1s because the symmetry are same and energy are roughly of same. But 1s cannot combine with your 2s, or 2s cannot with your 2p. So, only those orbitals which have the same symmetry and equal energy, they can combine to give what? The molecular orbitals. And the point is that like in an atom, in a molecule also, there are varying energy levels where the electrons are present. Okay. So, we have in an atom, suppose if I take your oxygen atom, 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. I mean, see, in the oxygen atom, the electrons are present in the different energy levels. Similarly, in a molecule also, when we prepare the oxygen molecule, we will have what? Different molecular orbitals like sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, and so on. And in these molecular orbitals, again the electron will be present. So, we have to configure the electron in the different molecular orbitals. So, like we did in atomic orbitals. That means, see, here also the Horn's rule, the Pauli's principle, the alpha principles will be applied to configure the electrons. Okay. So, let us configure the electrons. How to configure the electrons in different molecular orbitals. Okay. First of all, we go for the Alpha principle. Electronic configuration of molecules. Okay. Alpha principle. What says it? We already know. Orbitals with the lowest energy fills first. So, here you see, we have in the atom, so we have 1s is having the lowest energy. So, obviously, the molecular orbitals which are formed from 1s will have the lowest energy. So, among the molecular orbitals formed, the molecular orbital which is formed from the 1s will have the less energy. So, from 1s we have got the what? Sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. And here you know sigma is a bonding, sigma star is anti-bonding. Now, already I have told you that bonding molecular orbital will have less energy as compared to anti-bonding molecular orbital. So, here in between these two, sigma 1s will have the less energy than sigma star 1s. So, what you can write? What do you write? Sigma 1s then sigma star 1s. Okay. Then after 2s. So 2SO, 2SO again will combine to give what? Sigma 2SO, sigma star 2SO. So after 1SO, 2S will have the higher energy. According to atoms, 1SO, then 2SO, then 2P. So first 1SO we gone, sigma 1, sigma star 1SO, then what? 2SO. So from 2S to SO we are getting what? Sigma 2SO, sigma star 2SO. So sigma 2S is the bonding, it is the anti-bonding. So bonding will have less energy as compared to anti-bonding. So what you can write? Then after sigma 2S, then what? Sigma star 2S. Okay, clear? Now, then after come to 2P. We have 2Px, 2Py, 2Pz here. They are combining to give what? Sigma 2Pz, sigma star 2Pz. So in between these three P also, because of sigma 2Pz, so sigma bonding formed by because we are taking 2Pz as the molecular axis, so we are taking sigma 2Pz. 2Pz is forming sigma bond. Now when sigma 2Pz becomes so less energy, its counterpart sigma 2Pz will be the highest energy among all these molecular atoms. So sigma 2Pz, sigma star 2Pz will have the highest energy. Okay. So next will be what? Then after sigma 2Pz. Okay. Then after we get what? The pi 2Ps, pi star 2Ps, pi 2Pi, pi star 2Pi. You know this is bonding, this is anti-bonding. So this will have less energy as compared to this one. Similarly, this will have less energy as compared to this one. But because all these are belong to the same orbital, so pi 2Ps and pi 2Pi will have the same energy because they belong to the same orbitals 2P and are both are the bonding. So what you can write? Pi 2Pxo is equal to pi 2Pi. Then after we get what? Pi star 2P is equal to what? Pi star 2P. Then finally we will get what? Sigma star 2Pz. Okay. But this order of arrangement of different molecular orbitals will work for molecules of oxygen and beyond the oxygen. When we look molecules below oxygen like nitrogen N2, B2, C2, there the order will be somewhat different. What is the difference? In that case, because the molecules are having lower molecules, so low energy, the 2S and 2P orbitals having very little difference in energy, there can be chance of mixing of the 2S and 2P, and hence the energy of 2Pz, sigma 2Pz orbitals will be little bit more as compared to what? Pi 2P and pi 2P. So in that case, this order will be changed. Okay. So this is what for O2 molecule and above. Okay, for O2 molecule and above. Okay. Now if for molecule up to N2 will have what? Sigma 1SO, sigma star 1SO, sigma 2SO, sigma star 2SO. Okay. Then we will get what? Pi 2Pxo is equal to pi 2Py. Then after sigma 2Pz. Then pi star 2Pxo is equal to pi star 2Py, then sigma star 2Pz. So you see up to sigma 1SO, sigma star 1SO, sigma 2SO, sigma star 2 SO. Here in both the cases same. Here also what? Sigma 1 SO, sigma star 1 SO, sigma 2 SO, sigma star 2 SO. Then after here we have sigma 2 pz, here we have what? Sigma 2 pz, then pi 2s, pi 2 pi. Here what? First pi 2s, pi 2 pi, then sigma 2 pz. Then after pi star 2 ps, pi star 2 pi, here also same thing. Okay. Then after sigma star 2 pz, here also same. Only there will be a shifting of what? Sigma 2 pz and pi 2 ps, pi 2 pi. Okay. So in case of O2 molecule and beyond O2 molecule, the sigma 2 pz comes first. In case of up to molecule up to N2, first comes pi 2 ps, pi 2 pi, then sigma 2 pz. Okay. Clear? This is what is the APVA principle. Okay. Then after what, you know, the Horn's rule. Okay. What says it? Pairing of electron in degenerate orbital is not possible until all the available orbital contains 1 electron each. That means, see here, if I take suppose you know pi 2 pxu is equal to pi 2 pi. These are called what? Degenerate. Called what? Degenerate. Okay. So if I have suppose 2 electron, if I do here pi 2 pxu is equal to pi 2 py. If I put 2 here, this is wrong one. Okay. So what I have to do? Pi 2 pxu is equal to pi 2 py 1 1. This is right. Okay. This is called what? Horn's rule. So like in an atom we will apply the Horn's rule, here also we will apply the Horn's rule. That means, see, orbitals with degenerate orbitals will be filled singly, then after it will be completely filled. So if I have pi 2 plus pi 2 pi, I have to give 1 1. Okay. Then after I can give 2. Similarly, also I can take what? Pi star 2 psu, pi star 2 pi. So here pi 2 psu, pi 2 pi, pi star 2 psu, pi star 2 pi are the degenerate orbitals. Hence, here we have to give the electrons 1 to each first, called Horn's rule. Okay. Similarly, you know, Pauli's principle, same thing. That you mentioned, the no two electrons will have all the 4 quantum numbers identical. That means what? So to each molecular orbital, we have to give only 2 electrons. So the maximum electron that can be present in a molecular orbital is only 2. Okay. Pauli's principle. Okay. There can be a maximum of 2 electrons present in a molecular orbital. Okay. So these are the different steps to follow to configure electron in the different molecular orbitals. Okay. Now come to characteristic of the molecules. Characteristics of molecules. Okay. First of all, stability. How can you find stability? So after configuring the electron in the molecule, if the number of bonding electron is more than the number of antibonding electron, then the molecule is stable. If the number of bonding electron is less than the number of antibonding electron, then the molecule is unstable. And if number of bonding electron is equal to number of antibonding electron, then the molecule does not exist. Okay. So what you can say, if Nb is more than Na, molecule is stable. Nb less than Na, molecule is unstable. Nb equal to Na, molecule does not exist. Molecule does not exist. Okay. Number 2. Bond order. What is bond order? Bond order is the number of bonds between the two atoms in a molecule. How many bonds are there between the two atoms in a molecule? That is called the bond order. And the bond order we can determine by using the formula half into bond order is equal to half into Nb minus Na. Okay. So here, what is Nb? Nb is what? Nb is what? Number of electrons in a bonding molecular orbital. N is what? Number of electrons in a anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay. Similarly, also we can calculate your magnetic character. Magnetic character. Magnetic character we can determine so by knowing the presence of unpaired electron. If in a molecule we have any sort of unpaired electron, then the molecule is paramagnetic. If no unpaired electrons are there, the molecule is diamagnetic. Okay. So what is unpaired? You know, in a molecular orbital there can be maximum of 2 electrons present. If all the molecular orbitals contains 2 electrons, it is paired. Okay. There may be also some orbitals are there which are vacant. Okay. So if any molecular orbital contains a single electron, that is called unpaired. If no single electron is there, that is paired. So if in a molecule we found any number of unpaired electron, then the molecule will be paramagnetic. Okay. So presence of unpaired electrons. Unpaired electrons called what? Paramagnetic. Okay. Absence of unpaired electrons molecule is what? Diamagnetic. Paramagnetic means will be attracted towards a magnet. Diamagnetic means will not be attracted towards a magnet. Okay. So these are the different properties to predict for a molecule. Now let us discuss one molecule. H2 molecule. If I take H1, 1s1 plus again H1, 1s1. Let me see. Now two H atoms now will combine. Okay. Look at what you know. Sigma 1s, sigma or H2 molecule. H2 molecule. 1 plus 1 what? 2 electrons. Okay. Now electronic configuration. Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. Okay. So we have total 2 electrons. So these two are the two different orbitals. So sigma 1s 2. Sigma star 1s no electron is there. Okay. Now here see, this is your bonding. This is what? Anti-bonding. So NB. That means what? Number of electron in bonding molecular orbital. How much? 2. Na. How much? 0. Number of electron in anti-bonding molecular orbitals. How much? 0. Okay. Now therefore bond order equal what? Half into Nb minus Na is equal to what? Half into 2 minus 0 equal to what? Half into 2 equal to 1. That means see the bond order is 1. There is only one bond between the two hydrogen atoms. H2H. H bond H. Now you see here sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s 0. That means see only we have 2 electrons and that 2 electrons is paired. No unpaired there. So absence of unpaired electron. So molecule is what? Molecule is what? Diamagnetic. Okay. Characteristic what? Characteristic diamagnetic, stability and be more than Na, therefore stable. Okay. Now you can draw a graph. This is called what? Molecular energy level diagram. Molecular energy level diagram. Okay. Hydrogen atom, energy E, energy E. Okay. Now we have H1s. Okay. H1s. 1s. Okay, HO 1s1, HO 1s1. Okay, now these two are combining to give what? Sigma 1s. Sigma star 1s. So in H2 molecule what? Sigma star 1s2. Clear? So this is what? This is your HO atomic orbitals. HO atomic orbital. This is what? H2 molecular orbital. This is the molecular orbital. Sigma 1s and sigma star 1s. Okay. So in this way we can draw the molecular energy level diagram of different molecules. Okay. Similarly, you can say He2. You can do Li2, B2, B2, C2, N2, O2, F2 we can do. Okay. Let us see. So He2, Li2, B2, C2, N2, O2 also we can do, and this type of energy level diagram and the characteristic of molecules, everything we will do in the next class. Okay. Thank you.